So you've watched the two videos I have linked below on conversion rates, and you're either like, you know what, my conversion rates are actually pretty good. They're better than I thought they were. Or you corrected all the things, you improved your thumbnails, your description, and added or improved your preview, and you're actually starting to see a little bit of increase in your sales, but you're still not making the money you think you could or should be making. What's the problem? Hello everyone, my name is Sherry from Rolling Acres Education. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. And I just want to start by saying this is where I am right now. My conversion rates are really good. All three conversion rates are really good. I am making sales, I am making money, I'm doing well, but I know that I have one problem, and that is views. I do not have enough views. I do not have enough people clicking on my cover. Now there's several reasons that might be. Number one, it could be your cover. Number two, it could be your title, which means you're not being ranked. And number three could be that you're just going to have to drive more traffic to your store from outside sources. Now, these are things you have less and less control over. Once someone clicks on your cover, you have their undivided attention. You are the only person they are looking at. So those things are kind of easier to control and change. But when it comes to having someone click on your cover, being ranked, what someone types in the search bar, and whether or not someone's going to come to your store, we don't have as much control over that. So we just need to do the best we can, and to know that if you follow the methods that people who have gone before you have practiced, you are most likely going to be successful, and if you don't give up. Okay, so we're going to talk about driving traffic to your store, your titles, and your covers. So let's start with your covers, because again, that's what you have the most control over, okay? You need to make your covers as professional as you can, and I do talk about that in the Listing 101 video below, but I want to talk a little bit about it today because it's so important. Let me tell you a short story. Back in Christmas, I created this resource that I thought was pretty amazing. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I did a logic problem from scratch. I wrote a passage that I felt like was very interesting. I learned a lot when I was researching for it. It's about the 12 days of Christmas and some of the background on it and what some of the things in the song actually mean and all these kind of things. And then I did a logic problem that involved math to go along with it. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was reasonably priced. And so I listed it, and in like 4 days, I got 10 views maybe. So I shared this issue with my little Facebook group with my Rebranded Teacher Academy members, and Lauren, my coach, said, the first thing I want you to do is change your title. I want you to change your title to, I forgot what it was before. I think it was just Christmas logic activity or something like that. And she said, I want you to change that to Christmas math activity for middle school and high school, or something like that. I forget exactly what. I have to go back. I think it's Christmas math activity for high school. And boom, I was on the first page just by doing that little small tweak. Then the next thing she had me do was change my cover, and she was very diplomatic and saying, very diplomatically, she said, you need to get all that crap off your cover. And I was a little bit offended. I'm going to show you that cover here in a little bit because it was so pretty. It had this big, pretty red bow and all these Christmas decorations on it, and it was so pretty. And I was like, okay, but I did what she said, and I changed my cover. It's not what it is today, but it's a lot better than it was. And so from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I sold 4 copies. And by the time Christmas was over, I'd sold 54 copies, okay? Just by making those 2 small changes. So changing your titles and your covers can make a huge difference. And since then, my resources have been selling really, really well. So the first change she had me do was to do what I talk about in the titles in the Listing 101 below. And the second thing was to make my cover more professional, to take all the stuff off, just make it very simple. Here's what my old cover looked like, and here's what my new cover looks like, okay? Maybe not the best in the world, maybe not as pretty, but it definitely looks more professional. And again, I talk about covers a little bit in that Listing 101 resource, but the main thing is you need to give your buyer as much information as possible in as short as time as possible, meaning don't overwhelm them with a bunch of words. Instead of listing everything that's in the resource, lots of activities, okay? You might just want to put no prep. What things are going to entice your buyer? Okay, you want to entice your buyer with your cover. What things are going to entice your buyer to click on your cover and check out more? Okay, they don't need to know everything. They just need to know enough to make them curious. Okay, now the second thing you can do is to work on your title, and we just talked about that a little bit. Okay, and again, I talk about that in Titles 101, but you need to be generic. You don't need cutesy. Topic, type, audience, and then something extra. All right. Now, the third thing we're going to talk about is marketing, and I'm not going to go into this a lot because marketing has like its whole own video. There is so much involved in marketing. To say, how should I market my product is like saying, how should I make this chicken? Okay. If I gave you a pack of chicken and said, how should I make this? You're not going to have, there's all kinds of ways that you could tell me to make that chicken. I don't know if that's a great analogy, but it's the same with marketing. How should I market my product? All kinds of ways. All kinds of ways. There's email list, there's Pinterest, there's social media, there's YouTube, there's blogs, there's ads, okay, Google. Now, I want to share something with you that I just learned. And I was so excited to find out that my products were showing up on Google. I didn't have to do anything. People, if you are doing everything that you're being told to do by your coaches and by so many people far beyond me, follow the plans of those that went before, you will find out that you're starting to show up in other places. I never checked my traffic because I wasn't doing anything to drive traffic to my store other than every now and then sharing a product on my personal Facebook page. And then I just started a YouTube channel, and I thought, you know, maybe somebody might come from YouTube, but I thought, okay, I'm gonna check. So I went to traffic, and wow, I had a list, things I've never heard of that people were seeing my products on. I don't know how they got there or anything like that, and I was making money from some of those. So the reason I want to share that with you is because I decided to go to Google. So I went to Google and I've typed in something like science subplans for 8th grade and clicked on shopping, and my bundle was the number 2 product that was shown. Now here is what you need to know. I didn't have bundle on my cover because when you go to Teachers Pay Teachers and my bundles there, it says bundle. You can see that it's a bundle. It's listed below. These things are included. I mean, you're just going to see that it's a bundle. And so I didn't think about putting bundle. But if you just looked at my product on Google, it looks like it's one subplan for $7.50 instead of 3 for $7.50. And the other subplans were mostly $3, $4. And so it looked like mine was a lot more expensive for the same amount, which really it was a better deal because it was 3 for $7.50. And so I changed that, but I'm going to tell you, it hasn't changed yet. It's going to take a while. So make sure when you're making those covers that you have to think outside of Teachers Pay Teachers. You want to make sure that if somebody just sees your cover on something, they're going to know that it's a bundle or what's in it. Make sure that it's clear, because sometimes you might think, well, I put my title up here, math activities for whatever. Why do I need to put it on my cover? That's why. Okay. All right. So I hope this has been helpful. Remember, if your conversion rates are really good, and I think that's what you need to do first. Why bother driving traffic to your store if the things that they're going to see afterwards aren't ready for them? Okay. Make sure that you have your views to previews and your previews to sold conversion rates up there, and that's what determines your overall conversion rate. If those two are up, then your overall conversion rate is going to be up. So make sure you have those things taken care of. Make sure you have a good product, good previews, good covers, and all those things, so that when you drive traffic to that store, that stuff's going to be ready. So we'll talk about marketing in another video, but just remember, have that store ready for those customers you're going to drive there. But make sure you have good titles so you're being ranked, and good covers so you'll get clicked on. Just remember, you've got this, God's got you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.